You are carrying a weight you were never meant to carry. And the shocking truth is that spiritual offense quietly poisons your faith long before you realize anything is wrong, because offense does not announce itself loudly. It whispers, it justifies itself, it convinces you that you are right while slowly disconnecting you from the very grace you pray for. You tell yourself it was deserved, that what they said or did crossed a line, that God understands your anger, but secretly your heart has begun to harden, and Scripture warns that a hardened heart cannot hear God clearly, because offense builds an inner courtroom where you are always the judge and everyone else is always on trial. And the moment you sit on that throne, intimacy with God begins to erode without fireworks or drama. This is the first hidden truth about carrying spiritual offense. It gives you a false sense of righteousness while robbing you of peace, because you can quote verses, serve faithfully, even worship passionately, yet still be imprisoned by an unresolved wound. And Proverbs 18:19 quietly exposes this reality when it says an offended brother is harder to win than a strong city, meaning offense builds walls. Even God will not bulldoze without your consent. The second truth is even more unsettling. Spiritual offense blocks spiritual vision, because once offense takes root, everything God does must pass through the filter of your pain, and suddenly correction feels like attack, silence feels like rejection, and delay feels like punishment, even though Romans 8:28 still holds true. Offense distorts discernment, making you interpret God through your hurt instead of interpreting your hurt through God, and that is a dangerous reversal. This is why many people feel spiritually dry without understanding why. They are still praying, still believing, but secretly offended at God, offended at leaders, offended at other believers. And James 1:20 quietly reminds you that the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God, yet offense convinces you that your anger is holy, justified, and necessary. The third truth is a warning most believers miss. Offense attracts spiritual stagnation because offended people stop growing while appearing spiritually mature, repeating the same prayers, the same complaints, the same cycles year after year. And Hebrews 12:15 warns about a root of bitterness that defiles many, not because bitterness stays internal, but because it leaks into relationships, ministries, and even doctrine, subtly reshaping how you see truth. You may not realize it, but offense makes you hypersensitive to disrespect and blind to grace, quick to remember wounds, and slow to remember mercy, even though Matthew 18 makes it painfully clear that unforgiveness places you in spiritual debt you were never meant to carry. The fourth truth cuts even deeper. Spiritual offense gives the enemy legal ground, not through dramatic possession or chaos, but through quiet permission, because Ephesians 4:26-27 warns that unresolved anger gives the devil a foothold. An offense thrives on delay, convincing you that you will forgive later, once they apologize, once God explains himself, once justice feels balanced. But grace does not wait for conditions. This is why offense often survives even powerful encounters with God, because God will heal wounds, but he will not override will, and carrying offense becomes a way to maintain control over pain, even if it costs you freedom. The final truth is both terrifying and hopeful. Offense is a choice disguised as a reaction, and freedom is always closer than you think, because Jesus himself warned in Luke 17:1 that offenses will come, not might come, not could come, but will come, meaning offense is inevitable, but captivity is optional. When you cling to offense, you are not protecting your heart, you are closing it, and a closed heart cannot receive revelation, correction, or deeper intimacy, even though Psalm 51 reminds you that God desires truth in the inward parts. The shocking part is that spiritual offense often hides behind spirituality itself, using discernment language to justify distance, using wisdom language to excuse bitterness, using boundaries language to avoid forgiveness. Yet the cross stands as an eternal contradiction to all of it, because Jesus forgave while bleeding, released mercy while misunderstood, and entrusted judgment to God rather than clinging to offense, fulfilling Isaiah 53 in silence and surrender. This is the moment of decision for you, because offense will ask you to remember the wound, but the Spirit will ask you to release it. And only one of those voices leads to life. If you want clarity, peace, and spiritual momentum restored, you must lay down the right to be offended, not because what happened didn't matter, but because your future with God matters more. The challenge is simple but costly. Let go, forgive, release, and refuse to rehearse what God is asking you to bury. Because the truth is clear. What you keep revisiting, you keep reliving, and what you release, God redeems. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to support me. If you want to receive more messages to strengthen your faith, please subscribe and walk with me in the truth of the Lord.